Welcome to the end, friend.
What is up guys, Kris05 with another card review video here. 17 new cards got released since my last video, and like the last time, I will review the 5 best cards that got released in the past few days, and I will do a quick rating and drop a few words for the rest of the cards. Again, I want to point out that I will pick the best 5 from the latest cards you see on this picture, and not from the cards from before. Let's get started. First up is the new neutral legendary minion, the Curator Ashmore. Oops, I mean Countess Ashmore. Right off the bat, we can see that this legendary has a very similar effect to the Curator, but I think this will be even better than him. Before, we could draw Beast, Murloc and Dragon, and those tags didn't really fit together well, but on the other hand, Rush, Lifesteal and Death Rattle seem a lot more synergetic. Notice that with this card, you can even draw spells and weapons, like Death's Bite and Amethyst Spellstone, so that gives you a lot more room to take the full advantage of this legendary. You could also build a deck around her for only 2 of the 3 cards she can draw, and she will still be good. I'm sure a lot of late game control decks and even some mid-range decks will opt for her. My rating for the sexy Curator Ashmore will be 5 stars. She will be played by different classes and will fit in several meta decks, not to mention she will be great in Arena too. The Warrior Epic minion Towncrier is up next, and with this card I think we can safely say that Rush Warrior will be a thing in the new meta. Having a 1-drop minion with 1/2 stats and a great effect like this is huge. We can even compare him to a Mage's Mana Worm and a Priest's Cleric, since you will always want to have this dude in your opening hand. This is probably the best warrior card we've seen so far. That being said, I feel like I must change my grade to the Warrior Weapon Woodcutter's Axe, to a solid 4 stars. At the time, I wasn't convinced how much support Rush Warrior would receive, but now I can see it developing into a tier 2 or a top tier 3 deck, at worst. I'll give this card 5 stars too, since it will be a staple for the Warrior Rush archetype, and I am excited to see it evolve. Continuing with the Paladin legendary minion, the Glass Knight. A 4-mana 4/3 drop with a Divine Shield. Even if we stopped there, this minion would have been good, but we have the added bonus of restoring its Divine Shield once you restore health to your face. This sounds great, and I believe we will witness a new kind of mid-range oriented paladin that will run True Silver Champion, Rallying Blade, Wicker Flame Burn Bristle, Lesser Pearl Spellstone, Bolvar Fireblood and some other lifesteal minions, maybe even Chillblade Champion. Being able to reliably restore a minion's Divine Shield over and over again will give you great value, but you have to be prepared to just have it silenced and or destroyed immediately. Rebuke might come in handy here. We are yet to see 4 other new Paladin cards from the new expansion, so maybe we will see even more support for this type of deck. I see a lot of value here, so I'm gonna give this guy a solid 4-star rating. I'm a believer we will see this card in play in the months to come. Now let's talk about another Paladin card, the rare minion Bellringer Sentry. This is another interesting minion that can bring a lot of value to the board. Stat-wise, he is a bit understated for a 4-drop, but bringing not 1 but 2 secrets with him, he will definitely compensate. Dropping Noble Sacrifice, Redemption or Getaway Kodo will be more than enough to call this guy worth. The fact that it will thin out your deck with 2 secrets less to draw makes it look a lot like a better Arcanologist, although she has exceptional stats for a 2-drop. Right now, my imagination is lacking to say what deck will be good with this guy, but I'm sure the more experienced deck brewers will find a working formula for a mid-range kind of paladin with Sentry. Back in the day, Mysterious Challenger ruled the paladin decks, and that's why I think Sentry will find a place in the new meta as well. My rating for this secret machine is 4 stars. He's no Mysterious Challenger, but he is close, to say the least. And I'll finish off with the rogue common minion Blinkfox, a 3-mana 3/3 beast with a burgle effect. Sounds a lot like Swashbuckler and Undercity Huckster, and both of those saw a ton of play, so I don't see why this won't too. Rogue doesn't have that many good free drops, so I think this will be a good addition for the class. Yeah, SI Agent is a great free drop, but having to combo it doesn't really make him a free drop. Here you can just play the fox freely without having to worry about combos. The Burgle archetype doesn't seem too plausible to me for standard, even with a card like Tess Greymane. For wild, the archetype might work out, but not anywhere near a tier 1 deck. My rating for Blinkfox will again be 4 stars. It fits well in current rogue decks, and I think it will fit in future ones too. so these were the 5 best cards from the last few days. Now let's move down to the quick rating segment. These 5 cards get 4 stars as well. Book of Spectres is an interesting turn for Mage. I guess we might see a more zoo-oriented Elemental Mage emerge soon. Running 8 spells or less in your deck will provide you with a pretty good chance to draw at least 2 minions from it. Alunette and Frostlit Jaina are not spells, so there is no chance to cripple your deck too much with a spell like this. Archmage Arugal will definitely have a lot of synergy with Book of Spectres, and you can combo those as soon as turn 3 or 4 for some good hand refill. Bonfire Elemental is another reason for me to believe that Elemental Mage is the next big thing in this class. It sounds very weird at the moment, but I won't be surprised if it starts smashing the ladder soon. Mossy Horror is another card with potential. It has a very weird mana cost though, and I'm not really sure it's worth the 4 stars, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Festeroot Hulk might not be as bad as most people think. If you drop him while you have 2 other minions on the board, he will be a 4/7 from the start, with the potential of becoming a big threat. I have my doubts about him, but I feel generous. And I'm giving these cards 3 stars. They seem good, but for now they don't look like they have an obvious place in the meta decks. Tess Greymane is very overrated, at least in my opinion. It will be a fun card, a lot like Yogg-Saron, but I don't see how revolving your deck around her will be worth the effort. Pickpocket doesn't seem to be a serious card to me too, there's just too much RNG involved with these two. Mistwraith will be hard to stick on the board, but it might find a place in some eco-rogue. Silver Sword has a massive effect, but at a cost so high, I'm not sure where it can fit. Worgen Abomination seems like a good card in Arena, but for Constructed, it doesn't look too reliable. And Totem Cruncher might find support with the rest of the cards for Shaman, but for now it's a 3 star for me. And for this, I'm gonna have to go with 2 stars at most. Splitting Festeroot is way too slow, even a perfect scenario with Umbra doesn't seem too epic to me. So that's it for the 17 new cards, guys. Still a lot of cards left to reveal, but the meta is starting to form and I think it is very exciting. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'm Kris05 and I'll see you in my next video.